kicker started. Agita looks dangerous to me in third.
Youth. Arts. Culture.
Spectrum. Youth, Arts, Culture. Every Tuesdays, 11:50 a.m., bringing you current issues, tips, insights, and more. Only on TRAXXfm. Youth. Arts. Culture. Spectrum. Right now on TRAXXfm.
11:15 a.m. on the clock right now. This is Trax Momentum, and of course, right now we have the Spectrum interview. So if you've heard of programs by Chandana and Rio, which are units under MyCreative Ventures, they're also known as MyCreative Group. MyCreative is a government investment arm under the supervision of the Ministry of Communications and Multimedia, KCOM, which was established with the objective of advancing Malaysia's creative industry through strategic and innovative investment. So we do have a phone interview right now. On the phone lines, we have Encik Noor Azmi Matsai, the chairman of MyCreative Ventures Group. Good morning.
Yes, morning.
Hi, morning. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right. Okay, so thank you so much for spending your time with us to talk about revitalizing arts and culture. So let's get into it. Could you run us through what are the responsibilities of MyCreative, and the mandate that was passed on to them by the government? So basically, in layman term, what exactly does MyCreative involve?
Yes, okay. MyCreative started back in 2012, and recently in the 12 Malaysia Plan, the government recognized the creative industry and listed creative industry as one of the catalysts for the to contribute for the growth of the country. And it is also mentioned that the target, or the government targeted for the industry to contribute about ringgit Malaysia to 1.9 billion to our GDP by 2025. This is an addition of 10 billion from current performance. So, and since the target is there, and government-related agencies or investment, being government investment arm, this is where MyCreative as a group involved or feel to take up the responsibility to assist the government in achieving this goal. So, in a way, MyCreative wanted to drive the Malaysian orange economy, also known as creative economy, forward through our strategic development initiative, including financial assistance and also investments into the industry. And ultimately, our main goal is to increase the creative industry contribution to the national economy, as I mentioned earlier. And primarily, the group, MyCreative, aims to intensify Malaysian creative industry through job creation, of course, as well as directly boosting the status of the Malaysian creative industry through public awareness and also social impact.
Yes, definitely, because I think a lot of us have already been through a lot of real kind of programs. Also, it is really trending amongst youngsters and everything like that. But yeah, you mentioned a little bit just now about how much has been contributed, allocated. So the government allocated 15 million ringgit to Chandana under the 2021 budget. So how did Chandana use this fund during the COVID-19 pandemic, and what were its effects on the Malaysian arts and culture scene?
Yes, the 15 million ringgit is in form of financial assistance, in form of grants, and of course the allocation of 15 such that amount allowed Chandana as part of the unit under MyCreative to provide continual and practical support to the players of the industry, which includes especially in those in the area of performance art, visual art, independent music, and also craft sector. So this funding, which is also known as PRISMA, or the Malaysian Creative Industry Stimulus Package,
Right.
It was a key financial assistance that being transmitted to the players to sustain, to help them to sustain, and for them to restart or rework on their business so that they're able to resume their business post-pandemic. So, as many aware, it is important to assist the industry to sustain, because the industry, based on Cendana study in 2020, about 95% of them affected during the pandemic.
Yes.
They don't have any jobs. They cannot do anything. So we don't want a scenario whereby post-pandemic we don't have practitioners anymore, or we don't have site or activity or place where people do and consume arts and cultural activities anymore. So that's where such financial assistance was approved by the government and handed over to MyCreative and Cendana to manage it, so that will be able to, so that the players will be able to assist the players to sustain their operations, to sustain their livelihood, and also resume their business creative activities. So among programs called like art organization resilience program, art venue recovery program, which like art venue recovery, where we help venue owners to sustain their operation, because during the pandemic there's no activities, but they have to maintain the venue. So we have to assist so that the venue keep going, and post-pandemic the venue still exists in a good condition. And as we see now, as we in the endemic stage, these venues day by day fill up, and I do receive some notes from friends that saying that it's difficult to get a venue nowadays in the city. So so it was the right move by the government to assist this venue during the pandemic.
Yes. Of course. And what kind of programs that you've done assisted in enabling creative practitioners?
Okay. Earlier I mentioned, when it comes to during the pandemic, we have these programs to regenerate the creative industry, either through Cendana or through Rio or through MyCreative itself, which the financial allocations forwarded by the government. So we do look at this art venue recovery, art organization resilience program, and apart from that, we also do things like Rio. Rio is a program that where we put or we assist in terms of platforms to connect the players and also the market. So, for example, like Rio, this is where we know that it has been, or there are followers of Rio within the Klang Valley before the pandemic.
Yes.
And we have been working on our activities in from Bangsa and then KL or Sentul Depot. And now, since early this year, we have been spreading Rio through Kembara Rio Keluarga Malaysia throughout the country.
Yes.
We have done that in Air Hitam Johor, Kota Kinabalu Sabah, Melaka, and recently in Ketereh, Kelantan. So we plan to have these programs across the 14 states, and these programs aim to spur creative industry and art as an activation platform where, as I mentioned earlier, it connects the creative community, the public, the consumer, and simultaneously they mobilize economic activity in the creative industry post-pandemic.
Right.
So, Rio Program Malaysia is a program that showcases modern cultural performance. We have creative and entrepreneur workshops, and we also have shops that featuring local craft community activities. And interesting enough, artists, creative practitioners, entrepreneurs get an opportunity to benefit from Rio platform as a means to promote their products and generate income from their creative endeavor. And this program is expected to generate at least 7,000 job opportunities as a whole over the course of its tour.
Wow,
So,
7,000 job opportunities.
yes. So we already concluded Rio Act, which is done in Air Hitam Johor, was done in Air Hitam Johor. Then Rio Sabah was in Kota Kinabalu Sabah. Rio Now was in Kota Melaka. Rio Sokmo is in Kelantan. So it has been a very positive momentum where we see the trend from 5,000 visitors during the early stage post-pandemic,
Right.
and up to 60,000 visitors for the recent Rio Sokmo. So this is indeed a positive momentum.
Yeah.
So and we're glad that efforts on Rio has shown that the support comes from not just the entrepreneurs, practitioners, but also the consumers of creative and arts, cultural and arts, which is the people itself.
Yes, of course. And definitely, like you mentioned, it has already generated at least 7,000 job opportunities, and the visitors are like skyrocketing, from like 3,000 to 60,000 and stuff like that. So definitely it's a really, really good initiative. But right now, though, we're going to take a quick break. Coming back, we'll be talking more about the long-term vision for the arts and culture industry in Malaysia. So stay tuned to that.
Direct to your home, in the car, or at work with 50,000 watts of power and no satellite dish required.
Locked on the best radio station.
TRAXXfm.
10:30 a.m. on the clock right now. This is Trax Momentum. It's Els Dines with you, and we are having the Spectrum interview. We're talking about revitalizing arts and culture. Of course, we're talking to Encik Noor Azmi on some of the programs and the initiatives that has been taken. So just now we were talking about the programs being done, especially like the Rio in Johor, in Sabah, in Melaka, in Kelantan. So many. So also, of course, we were talking about at least 7,000 job opportunities have been given, and so many visitors gave good and positive response, right? So how did, how was the response at your end as well? Like, how did the people react?
Very exciting. We, of course, the positive response by the consumer or the audience itself, and we were very excited about it. And as mentioned earlier, not just Rio, but MyCreative, which started in 2012.
Yeah.
We started as giving financial assistance to the creative industry. So since 2012, we have given financial assistance to about 949 practitioners or entrepreneurs within the creative industry, which is the injection amount of Ringgit Malaysia 447.7 million ringgit. And apart from MyCreative, which is the financial assistance itself, we also have, as mentioned earlier, we have Rio and also Cendana, which mainly for Cendana doing the developmental activities in the area of performance art, visual art, the music industries, and also craft. through that activities, about ringgit Malaysia 10.93 million has been channeled toward the development of the creative industry itself. And this initiative that we have been supporting, not only to the four mentioned areas, but also the areas like it is still within the creative industry, like fashion, literature, content, creative content, animation, TV production, film production, also product design. So, I mean, the industry itself, or the creative industry itself, is quite broad. So we're focusing in this industry as well.
Yes.
And in addition to enabling the industry, including the practitioners, who also helping the workers itself, the industry players itself, during the pandemic, or also post-pandemic, through our recovery initiative program under Chatana, and which provides creative industry players means to upscale their skills, generate income from their creative endeavor. We do have, for example, like earlier programs to help musicians to buy equipment so that they can do or they can go online during the pandemic and do their performance online. We also assist companies in the area of animations, like R&D Studio, which launched the award-winning animation series called Batik Girl.
Oh, wow.
We do also assist Kunui, an international luxury fashion house, multi-award-winning lighting design brand called by Stephanie L. And as well as groundbreaking content producers like Animasia and Tremendous Entertainment, which mainly in the performance art space.
Right.
So, yeah. So that's our initiative over the past 10 years. So it's quite broad, but it's making its point in almost all areas that we involve in.
Yeah, definitely. So very, very good response, and people are excited. You guys are excited as well. So now that we are moving towards the endemic stage, how has MyCreative worked the budget to favor the reopening of venues and other arts and culture programs? Because just now you mentioned that a lot of people still find it difficult to find venues to do their performance and arts and stuff like that. So like I mentioned, how has MyCreative worked the budget to favor the reopening of venues as well as other arts and culture programs?
Okay. One of our key strategy is by sending Rio that has been within Klang Valley to a nationwide tour. So we have Rio that is a made of tour to all 14 states, so that through Rio we hope to remobilize, stimulate, and create economic activities in the industry post-pandemic.
Right.
Because the players is there, but they need something to excite back, to restart the creative economy. So through Rio, we hope that the players were able to restart back their activities, and then following Rio activities or any side exhibition activities, the space and also the players were able to have continued support or activities from the initiative activities that we did through Rio program. So that's why through Rio Collaboration Program we showcase not just performance, but also art, culture, workshop activities, art exhibitions, and so on, mainly to aggregate the market consumption, so that through market consumption people will stand and demand will continue for art performance or creative activity activities, so that then they should be able to realize what we plan, or what we hope that it will the industry will remobilize and then reopen and reactivate to back where before the pandemic.
Exactly, to make a comeback. Right, to make a comeback. So there we go. What is MyCreative's long-term vision for the arts and culture industry in Malaysia? Because you've already mentioned, like, Rio is a really successful comeback. And what is the long-term vision? I'm pretty sure there are so many upcoming programs that MyCreatives have come up with. And so what's the kind of long-term vision for the arts and culture industry in the country?
Yes. As a whole, the group, MyCreative, we aspire to be the nation champions of orange economy or creative economy. So we acknowledge that the art and culture are integral source of uniting Malaysians, number one. But also art and culture should be the underlying elements of our economic activities. If we benchmark ourselves with countries like Korea and others in this area, economic activities, this is where we see how culture and creativity has been the ambassador or the key component of the activities to open up markets and to open up borders across other countries as well. Especially if you look at Korea and how they did it. So based on this benchmarking, we hope that we will be able to transform our creative industry into industry that be able to increase GDP contribution to the country, either through local consumption or export. And through this, we plan to aggregate consumption of creative, cultural, and also creative content of our creative industry. And through that, we hope people appreciate the creative activities in the country or creative products of the country, so that we will go to level up the industry with the right touch point. So through this effort or concerted effort, we hope that we will continue to provide also financial assistance and upskill the creative assistance through initiatives, either it's under Cendana or through MyCreative itself, developmental activities, or through Rio program, so that we work to create more employment and more economic activities in creative industry, and nations be able to consume creative content and also creative cultural products that is at world best or world level kind of products. So then on a larger scale, we have the MyCreative continue to 20% of position of local communities for the nation culture and heritage through creative arts. So it's overall ultimately increasing the contribution of income from this industry, of this industry, to GDP as projected under the Malaysia plan. Right.
Okay. There we go. So we're going to be taking a short break, and coming back later on, we'll talk a little bit more on the upcoming budget 2023. So stay tuned.
Good starts now. TRAXXfm.
11:44 a.m. on the clock, and if you're just tuning in right now, we are having the Spectrum interview. We're talking about revitalizing arts and culture. We're talking to the chairman of MyCreative Ventures Group, Encik Noor, Azmi. So coming back to the topic, of course, we all know that the budget will be happening on the 7th of October. So what would you like to be included in the 2023 budget?
Okay. For having the creative industry, it's one of, or recognizing the creative industry as one of the catalysts for transformation plan is a way step forward that the government did. And of course, from this coming budget, we hope to receive continued support from the government to the creative industry. And as such, we hope there'll be an increase in the creation of funding for the creative industry, especially in this current time of restarting or regenerating back the industry post-pandemic, which is the endemic phase at the moment. So that's what we hope. We hope to have more allocation to support it.
Right. Okay. And what are your plans for the coming year? You know, what kind of new initiatives that MyCreative will be pursuing in 2023? Because we all know Rio was a huge success. So what are some of the other initiatives that MyCreative have planned?
Yes. Of course, post-pandemic, which is the endemic stage, we just like restarting back the economic activities or the creative economy activities. In such scenario, we are just like startup stage. It's just that being at this time it's not 100% startup because players that already have the experience, but the economy itself is like a startup, restarting the economy. So we need to ignite the right value chain to make the engine work, engine of the economy work. So one of the activities or the development of the industry or restarting the economy is the aggregation of market consumption. This is where we will continue with the tour of Rio because Rio serves as a platform to restart things, to open, to create activities, not just in central Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur or Klang Valley, but we're going through, we've been in Johor, we've been in Sabah, we've been in Kelantan, Melaka before. So we will continue Rio to other states, and we believe through Rio we are going to mobilize players and restart economic activities of our creative economic players. And it's our hope also as well. As I mentioned earlier, we target to create at least 7,000 job opportunities and supporting about 5,000 local creative entrepreneurs over the 14-state tour that we plan. And as of today, we have created about 3,253 new job opportunities, and we have supported about 2,053 creative entrepreneurs or activists so far. So we believe that we'll be able to exceed this earlier set target.
Yes.
So, and through market aggregation is one. We're also looking at another element of industrial element, which is on the financial support, which is the core activities of MyCreative itself, through financing and also through grant support. So we hope for the government to allocate some funding in this segment so that we're able to level up the cultural and art and also creative industry. And we hope by injecting the developmental activities into the players, we will be able to help inspiring creative players to do more and make us proud as a Malaysian that our creative products or creative culture products or creative content products being consumed not just in the country but also suitable for market consumption in the export market.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, we have come to the end of the interview, but before we let you go, is there anything else that you would like to add for our listeners tuning in right now, Encik Noor?
Yes. First of all, support the creative industry and celebrate the arts and culture championed by local artists, our creative entrepreneurs and also practitioners. So, I mean, in any industry, the market consumption is important. So this is where the support from the consumer, support from the user of the creative product itself is very important. So that it will elevate our creative industry. So please keep an eye on our next edition of Rio nationwide, Kembara Rio Kuala Malaysia. Follow Instagram at Rio in the City, or on either Instagram or even in Facebook, and do reach out and keep up to date with initiative under MyCreative through our website, www.mycreative.com.my for information. And other things, some good news for the music or independent music players. MyCreative, through the support of Ministry of Communication and Multimedia, will be launching Dana Kandungan Music grant very soon. So do look up for this announcement, the details through our social media channel, mainly at MyCreative Ventures on Instagram and Facebook. So full details, again, through the website, www.mycreative.com.my.
Righto. So there we go. If you, of course, good news like Sir just mentioned, good news for music industry practitioners. MyCreative will be launching the Dana Kandungan Music Grant very soon. So make sure you are following them on Instagram, on Facebook at MyCreative Ventures, and also you can also join in the next Rio by following the Rio in the City for more updates and stuff like that. So thank you so much for sharing your time and also your insights, your opinions on revitalizing arts and culture. All right.
Yeah,
we'll let you go.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay,
thank you.
bye.
Take care. So there we go. We've been talking to Encik Noor Azmi Matsaid, chairman of MyCreative Ventures Group, on revitalizing arts and culture. So if you want to know more, like I said, you can just follow them on Instagram and Facebook at Rio in the City or MyCreative Ventures Group. Yeah. Anyway, we've got the news coming up at 12. Be back after that.
We will be back next week for more topics, issues, tips, and insights. Spectrum, youth, arts, culture. Only on TRAXXfm.